So this is what your chain should be looking like. If it is, so these ones look pretty consistent and about the same size. If yours isn't very consistent and there's like there's a big hole here and then it's really tight here and then a big hole here, just keep practicing the chain until you pretty much nail it, because if you try and do the next step with a hole here and then really tight here, it's just going to ruin it. So try and get it to look about as neat as this. Yours might be a tiny bit tighter just because of the 5.5mm hook, but it should look something like this. And if you need to, don't be afraid to do it looser than tighter, because we're going to go back through these chain here, and then if it's too tight, it's going to be too hard to do that. So now we're going to be doing what's called a double crochet. So we're going to do yarn over, and then sometimes when you're crocheting, the first few chain count as the first few stitches, or the first stitch. So we're going to skip this one here and skip that one there. So we're going to be doing it into the third one, which will be there. So if you can't see, whoops, I'll try and show you again. I'll grab another hook that's a bit smaller. So that's one chain there, that's a second chain there, and then that's a third chain there. So you should be able to see little V shapes on your chain, and then we're going to be working into the left side of the chains, and they're all separate chains along there. So for a double crochet, you're going to want to do one yarn over and then go into the chain. So you should have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over again, so there's 4 loops, pull this one through the chain, so we're back to 3 loops, and then yarn over again, so we're back to 4. Now you're going to want to pull this one here on the end through the 2 middle ones, just through those 2, and then yarn over again and pull through these 2 here, and then you've got your first double crochet, or technically second, since the first few chain count as a double crochet. So if you don't already have my Learn to Crochet notes, you can buy them on my Etsy shop, and how to double crochet is just down the bottom here, so it goes through each step, but I'll show you again. So yarn over, and remember to always go that way instead of that way, because it's going to be hard to pull through. So yarn from the back to the front, and now we're going to be working in the next chain. So that's one chain there. I'll show you with the smaller hook again. So that's the chain that we just went into, and then the next one we're going to go into here. So the next half of the V shape along on the left hand side. And you can always tell which is the front of the chain because it'll look like a V shape, and then the back will have little bumps on it. So that's the back and that's the front there. So we'll restart, yarn over, and now into the next chain along. And if you're struggling to see which the next chain would be, then you can put stitch markers in each of these chain here. So we've got 3 on the hook, yarn over, so there's 4, pull through 1 loop, so we're back to 3, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, so we're back to 2, yarn over, we're back to 3, and pull through 2 loops. And then that's another double crochet there. We'll do one more, yarn over, now into this next one here, just like that. So we've got 3, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. So you're going to keep doing this all along here until you're back to the end, and then we'll move on to the next step. So I've just finished going along here, and your piece should look something like this. If it is starting to curl a bit like that, that's fine. It just means that your chain is either really tight, or you could go up a hook size as well to make it a bit looser, but it won't. As you learn more, then you'll learn how to make it not curl, but as you're learning now, it won't matter too much that it's curling. So we're just at the end here, so we're going to do 2 chain, 1, 2, and then just like down the bottom here, those 2 chain counted as the first double crochet in the row. So that's going to count, those 2 chain there are going to count as the first double crochet in the second row. So it's just like that, and then we're going to turn the work so this crochet bit is on the left and then this bit is on the right. So just like that. Now instead of going in one side of the chain, we're going to be going through, so you can see the V shapes on the top here. So we're going to be going through, or sort of underneath the V shapes. So through each of these stitches here, so you can see the V shape on top there, whoops, on top there. And then next after that we'd be going into that one, and then that one. So through all of these stitches along here. And then it's pretty much the same going into the chain, just going into those different stitches. So we'll do yarn over, and now because these 2 chain count as the first double crochet, we're going to skip the first stitch here because that first stitch was for this double crochet. So the next stitch along will be just through that one. So we've got yarn over through that stitch, and you can see we've got the little V shape on top. Now this looks like 2 stitches. It looks like we've got 4 loops on the hook now, but this is really only going to count as 1 loop. So we essentially have 3 loops on the hook instead of 4. So we're going to yarn over. So now we're back to 4, and then we're going to pull it through that stitch just there. So it's the same as pulling it through the chain in the first row, but we're going to be pulling it from underneath the V shape. So back to 3, yarn over, and now it's just like these bottom ones here. Pull through 2, yarn over, and pull through 2. So that's the double crochet that we just did there. So the next one, yarn over, and then it'll be going into this stitch just here where my finger is. So yarn over into the stitch, and once again you can see the little V shape on top, so it's going underneath it, and then technically that counts as 1, so we'll have 3 on the hook. Yarn over, so there's 4, pull it through, so we're back to 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we'll do a few more, and then you're just going to keep going across here. And if you're struggling to see each of the stitches, then you can grab the stitch markers that came in the pack from the class. I'm just going to use some bobby pins here because I don't know where stitch markers are, but I'm just going to show you where each of the stitches will be. So there's 1, there's a second one going through the V shape, and we'll do 1 more going through the next V shape, or underneath it I should say. So that's the next 3 stitches where the double crochet are going to go into. So do 1 more on the screen, yarn over, and then underneath the V shape here where the bobby pin is, or the stitch marker if you're using it. So I've got 3 on the hook, yarn over, so there's 4, pull through the loop, so we're back to 3, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So you can see here that it's starting to grow, and these ones here were the first row, and this is the second row coming along here. So you're just going to keep doing that down until you get to the end, and then we'll do the next step.